Hey everybody, welcome to 2022. We're going to open up the video blog in 2022 by teaching you how to never miss an opportunity to interview again. And there are two things you need to absorb here, and it's going to be short and sweet. When you adopt these two concepts, you are never going to miss an interview again. Now, while I've got you here, if you could be so kind as to support my channel, I would really appreciate it. So if you could like and subscribe and comment below on where you are in your job hunt, that would be a huge help and get the word out and help more people get interviews and offers faster. So the two things that you need to know in order to get those interviews is, number one, to make that your priority in 2022. So if you are somebody trying to get a job, it's most likely the case that you are trying to send applications out and you are hoping that some sort of conversation ensues. Instead, in 2022, I want you to look beyond the application step and get into conversation and develop relationships with the people to whom you are sending the applications. And there are ways to do that, and that's the details and implementation is going to be beyond the scope of this short video. I first need you to change your mind about this, which is that it's not about sending the applications, it's about getting into conversation. Because after all, at the end of the day, that is your goal. You want to be hired and have colleagues and leaders in your life, and that's all about being into conversation, being in conversation. So focus on generating conversation, not applying, all right? So if you're hiding inside of your comfort zone because that's more comfortable than reaching out, then change that, okay? Taking an application and then the next step would be to follow up on your application through messages and through networking. That's what's going to move the needle. The second thing, if you're still here, thank you. This is really critical. The second thing to realize to get unlimited invitations to interview is to realize that every conversation is an interview, and every conversation is going to follow three parts. A conversation begins with people getting to know each other, then assessing if there's chemistry, and then the third part, which is the next step, or what happens next in the conversation. So just like you're looking at me on this screen, you're making an evaluation. Your mind is turning, hey, do I keep watching this? Hey, do I go do this other thing that's on my mind? Is this interesting to me? That's your mind basically interviewing me and this video content, right? So your mind is engaged in critical thinking, whether you know it or not. That's the first part of the interview, getting to know and or like the person. And then what happens is the next step, the next thing. And so to get you more familiar with asking about next steps or having an ask, I'll do an example ask here. Hopefully you've gotten to know and like my channel. The next step is I want you to like and subscribe this video. Okay, like this video and subscribe to it. That's an example of a process of getting to know, to like, and to support or ask. So once you've made, just to refresh here, once you've made a commitment to generating relationships, then you see that this next piece is important. Every conversation is an interview. So emphasizing relationship building and conversations, every conversation is an interview with the get to know, get to like, and ask or next step pieces. Put those two together, you will never miss the opportunity to interview again. Let me give you an example. You've applied to a job. Rather than waiting, you immediately reach out to follow up on your application. You immediately reach out to people within the firm to get on a call with them. Now, you could start at the junior level, but as I work with my students in the Career Accelerator 12-week intensive on, is we want to upgrade our socialization. So it's not just always always limited to the juniors, but we upgrade our socialization professionally to executives because, well, at the end of the day, those are the people that are going to hire us, work with us. So we're preparing for that moment. So every conversation is an interview. Every conversation is following these 3 steps. Once you've applied, you follow up with HR. That's a start. But you also follow up with the doers of the business and get them on calls. Those calls are interviews. You might have had 3 calls this week already and didn't recognize them for what they were, which were interviews. Now that you have that connection, you can go out and on demand generate as many interviews as you want. And you can use that this month, next month, this quarter, this spring. In fact, this is the way to generate interviews on demand whenever you want to, as many as you want to. So stay in touch, comment below, comment on what you liked, on what you want to hear more of, because it's your comments that drive this channel and the content. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next training.